Okay, today you're going to learn about chalk pastel techniques. Since chalk pastels are messy, you're going to want newspaper underneath your paper. I love that you're doing it in your sketchbook and then kind of keep it underneath your sketchbook. And you'll want some damp paper towels. Other supplies you will need are a blending stump, a kneaded eraser, a tissue, and of course your chalk pastels are in the package like this. All right, so techniques. The first technique is to use the tip. So just pick a color and you can just draw some lines, scribble with it. That's using the tip. Now, you're going to get little pieces of chalk built up. Please don't blow it because it'll blow in your face and it'll blow all over your project. So you just kind of tap it into the newspaper so that you can clean up easily. Okay, so that's the tip. You can also use the side of it. So I'm going to take that same color and actually need a smaller piece here. You can break it into pieces if you want and lay it on its side. Just like charcoal. Laying it on its side so you get that thickness. Okay, now my fingers are messy and I just got a mark on my paper, so I got to make sure I wipe my fingers off before I touch that. So I'm going to take and erase that a little bit with the new eraser. Alright, so I've got tip inside. I can put it on heavy. So I'm going to take my green and I'm going to just color it in real heavy. And again, just make sure you're tapping that extra dust off, not blowing it around. And then wipe your fingers off with that damp cloth, damp paper towel. Okay? Or I can do it light. I'm going to use that same green. I'm going to go on lightly. My paper has texture, a little bit different texture than what's in your sketchbook. When you get to your actual drawing, you will use this type of paper that has the texture to it so that the chalk kind of grips it better. Okay, we got heavy and light. You can do hatching. So hatching lines or cross hatching lines to make it darker. They don't have to be perfect in your lines. They just need to be kind of where you can see them a little bit. The farther apart they are, the lighter it gets. The closer they are, the darker it gets. You can play and experiment with different kinds of marks. You can scribble. You can do almost anything you want with it. Okay? You can layer the colors. So you usually want to start with your lightest colors. So if I'm going to mix yellow and orange, I'm going to start with my yellow. Somebody got some green on it, so I'm going to use my damp cloth to try and clean a little bit of that green off. Okay, so I'm going to put down some yellow. Wipe off my fingers. Now I'm going to grab the orange, and I'm going to put it on top. And you can see it makes kind of a yellow-orange. Clean off my orange a little bit because this, I'll put orange right next to it, plain orange, and you can see the difference between the yellow with the orange on top and the plain orange and the plain yellow. Tap it, and you should be able to see a difference. I'm going to bring it a little closer here. So I've got yellow and yellow and orange layered. I could go back in with my yellow if I wanted on top, mix it even more. Now I get more of a yellow, a little bit closer to a yellow-orange. But now I have orange on my yellow, so I have to wipe it off so that it doesn't make a mess the next time I go to use my yellow. You can layer. That's layering. You can smear with a tissue paper. So I'm going to go back to my yellow and orange. Put my yellow down. Wipe my fingers. Put my orange down. Next to it, wipe my fingers. Grab my tissue. And just let them mix together, kind of smear them. You can smear into the light, to get a lighter value, you can smear into the white with whatever you have on the tissue. Get kind of a blurred effect. If you want to smear just the orange even, you can smear the orange and lighten it up. You can smear with your finger. So I'm going to take, I think I'll do orange again. I'm going to put my orange down, clean my fingers off a little bit. Oh, it doesn't matter as much because I'm still doing orange. And I can smear that orange with my fingers. And I clean my fingers off so that I don't have a big mess of orange on my yellow next. Oops, sorry, I forgot to show that, didn't I? Okay, so smearing with your finger, you put a little orange down and then you just smear with your finger. Sorry, I forgot to slide that up, didn't I? Okay, you can also smear with the blending stump. So again, I'm going to put the orange down. I'm going to grab my blending stump and just smear it. There's a larger size and a smaller size if you want just little marks in it or just a little area to blend or smear. You can use that one. Now to clean these blending stumps, use the sandpaper and just roll it across the sandpaper. Make sure you keep it angled so that you keep that point to it because you're going to want that point. And you just kind of roll it as you smooth it. You don't want it to kind of file off one edge and make it flat. You want it to keep a kind of a cone shape. So that's smearing with the stump. And the last thing that I'm going to show you is using the eraser. So I can put a color down, grab my kneaded eraser, get it to a clean spot, get it shaped to however big or small I want to erase of a section. And it fills it up pretty fast, so I go to a new spot. It's not going to go completely white because it's already stuck down in that groove of the paper, but it is going to lighten it. Tap it. Okay, so there's the eraser. Smearing with the stump, smearing with the finger, smearing with tissue. tissue paper, layering, patching, light application, heavy application, using the side, using the tip. And whenever you are working, as you do a layer, because you're going to definitely be layering, you're going to want to spray this with either fixative or hairspray, whichever one. You have to go in the room with the vent and spray it. So that way you don't get a big fumy mess in here. Okay? And that is